Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. There is a swap going on and this started over on Facebook, on my Facebook group, which is the Treasured Page FB group. Today I'm getting out the journals that I've been playing with this year. So for 2024, we've been looking at signatures. We've been sending signatures around the UK and around America and Canada and South Africa. So if you'd like to have a look for the link below, or if you'd just like to have a look on Facebook, if you have an account, you can go and have a look at all the pictures from all the wonderful participants that have been having a go at making their own signatures, sending them, and just having their journals put out on display so we can all get some lovely ideas and build a community here at the Treasured Page. And what I am doing here is I'm trying to help inspire others through creativity, but I'm also trying to encourage you to find your own quiet time and to really make sure that you settle into a project or a creative task or a journaling task, maybe making a journal or just putting together some ephemera and making some really nice things, just some little envelopes here, a tag there, and just slowing down and giving yourself the time to just be, the time for you, and also just to relax. And to remind yourself to make time for your wellness. Otherwise, you will be making time for your illness. I think that is really, really important advice. And here you can see all the pages that have been put together this year. Lots of lovely little bits and bobs that I've been sent from wonderful, like-minded friends around the UK. So getting involved in a swap is one wonderful way to connect with people that are also into creativity, but also maybe when you get into journaling or junk journaling, you're trying to process things that are happening for you. Perhaps that's at a certain time of life, or perhaps that just took you off guard and you were not anticipating anything of what you're going through. Sometimes there are no words. You can't find the words for what you might be facing. And in those times, that's when you can reach for the scraps, reach for something very simple and start putting together the pieces. And as you put together the pieces, as you play with the junk papers and the little shards of your life, your clutter, your garbage, your rubbish, your scraps of paper, things you're going to throw away, when you start playing with them, you reignite forgotten pastimes. You also remind yourself that it's okay to play. You remember that mistakes are okay and that we can overcome them, and we welcome them in junk journaling. You can also remember that that nobody told you off when you were having a play with a mud pie or a sandcastle, or playing with Play-Doh or playing with paint when you were a little child. And it is okay to still bring that side of you out today, because we learn and we grow and we process through play. And it's no different now when we are just as much trying to figure out life in a fast-paced, moving world that sometimes nothing makes any sense. Things are so new and things are coming out and we just weren't aware or we're not prepared for them. Maybe it's time to just stop, slow down, work out, hang on a minute, I've been on this planet for a long time, I'm a sensible person and I know what's right from wrong. I can go back to a little escapism, I can look to my nostalgic stories from the past, and I can just remember a time of when, first of all, it felt like I knew when I was in control, but also you can look back in the past, you can remind yourself of people that mattered to you from before, people that maybe gave you inspiration, wonderful advice. What would they say to you now? How would you handle it? How would they handle it? What can you remember? And just tap into those sort of things as well. There's a lot going on when you do junk journaling, particularly if you go in for the vintage style. You can find it's very, very healing. And it has been for me, and it has been for a number of others. And I'd love to take you along for my journey just as much as yours. We're doing this together. We're building up pages that matter, pages that are going to be kept and treasured by you, but just the flips and the folds and the fun little finds, the things that can now be used as a proper journal if anybody wants to write in it. There are spaces to do so. There's extra papers, there's fold outs and tucks and pockets and tags. There's lots of wonderful things. These are treasured pages. These are treasured, beautiful keepsakes. They can be used as heirloom pieces just as much as quilts can be used, and they can also be given and gifted. And they are treasured and cherished by family long after you have gone. They are your legacy. There's no difference in building up something with the scraps of your life. This couldn't be a wonderful keepsake to somebody. Now, we have lots and there is an abundance of stuff, and this is a lot of learning that's taken place, and it's also a lot of figuring things out in a personal way. And it is putting together ideas and concepts and playing around and having a lot of fun. There's a lot of positive energy coming out of the journals that you can make, and you can even have a lovely bookshelf or a shelf or a cabinet dedicated to the things that you create, and those are things that people can enjoy looking at later on when you've finished with them. So this is a long-winded way of saying welcome to the treasured page. We have been sending signatures over the last year. This month is no exception. I'm going to be starting another journal. I've been sent a package with my latest things to have a look at. We're going to look at that. We're going to see if you can be inspired by the things that I've received just as much as I will be. And we're going to figure out how to put my next signature together. So every month I put out a project of the month. And this time the project is to make 4 little envelopes, and they're going to be stacked together to come and live on a page. Well, the ones I'm making here, I'm not sure if they're going to fit into a journal, but I did have a lovely play around with these ones to see if this would work for the latest idea. These are going to come and fit on a belly band, and they can be attached into the journal. So it'll be a stack of 4 envelopes, and we're also going to have a look at making a nod to Advent for December, so that you can fill the envelopes with fun things to find and open on every Sunday in December. So if you haven't seen how I made these in a previous video, I have been cutting out vintage papers using a template from envelopes that I already had. Things like this, I just pulled them apart, and then I've got a template. Now you might have an envelope making tool, you may have a board and a scoring mat and all of those things, and you may be somebody who has all of those gadgets and widgets but can't actually remember where they are. And if that is you, if you can't remember where that thing is, and you know full well that that's going to take you 25 minutes just to look for the thing, and a further 25 minutes to remember how to use it and do the maths to figure out the lines and line it up, you might just be better off with finding a junk envelope, pulling it apart, drawing out the template, and just cracking on. And that is what I was doing here. So I do have the envelope maker, I do have the punchy thing and the scoreboardy what's it. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the craft room. The craft room is chaotic at if I'm honest. It is a little bit messy here. It does want to clear up. It does need an organisation, but sometimes when you're making videos, you need all the things to hand, and then they all become everywhere, and there are lots of piles of stuff. So let's just leave it at that. I don't know where my things are. I can't be bothered to look for them, and I'm just doing this old school and folding it up, because by the time I've looked for everything, I probably could have made a few. There we go. So that's nice. So I was making little patchwork ones where we had different papers on the sides. So now I can decorate those sides and make another one there out of music paper. So that's how we were making those, and then they can come and stack and live on a journal and a belly band. But we have said to do 4. Now these envelopes that I've been making are quite large, and I have said that we're going to need 4. So we are going to have to look at that and see how that can be achieved. I may lose that one because these ones are perfectly fitting into the journal. So I'm probably going to make 4 of these of this size. So the idea was that this is a belly band, and this of course would look great in a larger journal. But we're operating with these mini signatures. So where you can see here I've got 2 envelopes. If I start introducing a third, that really has taken up all the room, and I've said to try and achieve 4. So I have got envelopes that are a little bit too large here, but that was just a demonstration idea in the previous video. I can leave it like this, but my 4th envelope becomes something that is tucked in and removable. So there's lots of ideas there, and you know, that is quite sweet. That does look really good. The obvious choice is that you make your envelopes smaller, you make them on a belly band, and you make your belly band more exaggerated, but you definitely can have wider ones as well for larger journals. So I've wanted to show you that. So those are great fun, they'll look great in any journal, but for the skinny ones you may want to have smaller ones, and this is a nice example. Now if this was the size of the envelope that you do, you could see that that would come down in the page. If you've got 4 of those, they would look great all stacked down, and you can see that that's a belly band either side, and it even looks like a letter because it's got the edging there. So that is just a journaling card, but it's beautiful, and that was made for me, and it's coming and living in there. So there we go, that's excellent. So there's the inspiration. We're wanting 4 mini envelopes to come and live in the journal. We want nature inspired. I think that that's really sweet. Lots of little letters with some nature inspired features on them. So if you have a look at the Send a Signature 2024 playlist, you'll be able to find all the monthly projects in there. You can see how I put together my scrap tray, and you can see what I did last month, because I'm about to open my parcel here that's been sent, and I'm also just going to add all the scraps that I've sent from my previous swap partner. That's going to come and live in there. So those are all the scraps that I've got to work with to begin this journal. So that's that. And then when I find out what's in here, I can start to get a sense of how my autumn and fall journal can come together. So we're going to look at that. But first of all, just looking at the front cover, I think we can definitely use some of this in the project. Okay, so let's have a look. Now this is just altered Amazon packaging. Isn't this clever? Look at this. So we're going to take out this lovely parcel. And this has come all the way from Lincolnshire up in the north of England, and I am opening this from the lovely Liz. So thank you so much, Liz. I can see that I absolutely adore the paper that you've wrapped up with, the beautiful ribbon. So it's already inspirational because it's a lovely green colour. Let's have a look and see what's inside. Oh my goodness, it's sort of double wrapped. How fun. Lovely little elephants here, beautiful little postcard. Oh, this is from Liz. Dear Melanie, here are the items for the October swap. I hope you like them. I know you'll find something inspiring to do with all the other bits. Recycling at its best. Thank you for all you do. Happy crafting, Liz. Oh, thank you, Liz. That's so lovely. Now, we are looking for a journaling card and a tag. See if I can wiggle this out of this packaging paper. Beautiful, lovely little dots on there, very useful. Oh wow. Oh, the fabric on there. Oh, that's good. Embrace imperfection. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because that is so important. If we can just get over ourselves, if we, exactly what I've just been talking about, just have a play and make the mistakes, because that is where we learn. We're looking for the imperfection, and we're looking for the distress and the rust and the grime, because sometimes they're really interesting. Beautiful paper clip there with a very lovely fabric, and oh my goodness, Oh, this is so great. Let me show you this. Oh, wow, wow. So the challenge here was to make an envelope and to have a window in it, but to really think that through. And this is so clever. This is a really good idea. What a brilliant example. I'm not sure if you can see my hand there. So Liz has cut this in half and then she's embellished over the top with a sheer fabric. So it's movable, but it's see-through. That is super clever. And it's an embossed paper. It's quite thick. And there's something really nice in there as well. Is it napkin? So, right, napkin paper, then embossed. We've got lovely ink effects going on there. And then this fabric here, this sheer fabric, maybe a scarf with some gold thread through it as well. And then she's put a strip of it across to give a window. That is very clever. And then she's made it with the vintage stamp there. So much fun. What a great idea. Something to really learn from. And an avocado journaling card. Who doesn't need an avocado journaling card? Just fantastic. Nature inspired. It's just perfect. Oh, wow. Where's my journal? Let's get the journal. Oh, look. This is just great. I love that. That is fabulous. Let's have a look. We've got this. So we've got this to hook on. Perfect. And then we've got the avocado. Isn't that just so good already? They're brilliant. They really pop. Fun. That just fun. We can have that there and we'll put that on there like that. Look at that. Already in love. Totally cool. Oh, wow. So yes, upside down. Look at this. Beautiful colour on the top. Oh, wow. Doesn't that look lovely in this journal with the pages? Here we've got some die cuts backed with some interesting different colour sprays. And then we've got a beautiful quote here from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says, "Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." What a lovely sentiment. Lovely nature, beautiful ferns, forest floor, moths, numbers, all the things we love. And this gorgeous button. What a clever idea. I'm so excited to pull this out. Ah, I can see. Oh, that is gorgeous, Liz. That's so lovely. The toucan. Look at that. So I feel like we're in Brazil. I feel like you've really watched the channel and really understood. That is just gorgeous. A beautiful toucan bird there. So lovely. It's a surprise, and then you can see it peeping through this little window. It's just so clever. You can see the little eye, but you're not sure until you pull it out. Oh, it's just a wonderful surprise. So this is great. It reminds me of the Marianne North journal, where she went on her adventures to Brazil, and it's just lovely. And this comes from somebody that's been watching the channel, feeling inspired, feeling motivated, and just it just is. Yeah, I really, I'm speechless actually. I'm lost for words. I really am lost for words. That's really wonderful. That's so special. Thank you, Liz. I can see that you have been watching the channel and you've really picked up an energy that has that I've conveyed, and it's coming back, and that isn't that just going to work so nicely. Ooh, wow. So we have started strong here, girls. Right, we are going to need a really special journal. So let's have a little look at what else we've got here. This is a gorgeous packaging idea, isn't it? 2 little holes and then put the string through. It's a lovely bag of goodies. Some little, oh, look at this. Little scrap fabric pieces. We've got a bee, absolutely love bees, and a hare. That's so sweet. So we can have some little dangles. Lovely little fabric swatches and scraps. Oh, look, some stamped linen. That is nice. So that's been stenciled on. And this is more of this lovely floaty fabric that we can bring in. Perfect. And a very pretty lace, little shell pink coloured lace. Isn't that lovely? I'm going to add this straight into the scrap box here, and then I will sort out the fabrics from the papers so that I don't get too overwhelmed. Napkin as a wrapping, that's a very clever idea. I haven't seen that before. And it is just the single layer, so it's pretty fragile. Let's take this out and see what we've got to play with. Beautiful napkins. These are always great, the autumn and fall colours. I've got some very interesting things here. We've got some vintage buttons on a card. Oh, that's so cool. And look at the lions. Oh, wow. Look, I've got lots of little cat stickers and embellishments that I'm being sent by the girls. It's really funny. So I'm thinking that we'll probably even have a cat or big cat journal. Now, what is this? What is this? Oh my goodness, that is sticky and fabric. Wow, a sticky fabric sticker. Now that is cool. Sort of like a German text or Scandinavian. We'll all want to know where that comes from. So Liz, write in and let us know. Oh, the otters, that's great. Love that. And then we've got lots of little nice things. So, oh, that is an original letter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness, it's got real life writing on it. Don't get me started. Oh, my goodness, where are we going? London. Okay. London in... Oh, no, there's no year. The 13th of October. Gosh, was it a Friday? Dear Mr. Cornish. Oh, my goodness. From Jeffrey. When was this? 1945. We're in 1945. London. It says, Mr. Cornish, Esquire. The British Bank Insurance Company. Dear Mr. Cornish, I'm at the moment on a week's leave and intend coming down to Maidstone on Tuesday and Wednesday. I will still call in at Star House at about 2:30 on Tuesday, and perhaps if you are unable to be in at that time, your secretary will tell me when I can see you. That would look really pretty embellished if I could bear to do it. It's from 1945, the 13th of October. I've just looked it up actually, and the 13th of October was actually a Saturday. And if we have a look at this, it was written on the 13th of October, so he wrote it on Saturday and posted it on Saturday and got a postal mark stamped, and off it went in the post. Now, if that's not an efficient postal service, I don't know what is. This will make Liz chuckle when I'm telling her all of this, because we had such a problem with our postal service just trying to get this package from A to B. But there we go. We're not moaning, but we are inspired by letters for this month's project. And here we are receiving letters from Liz, who knew nothing about the project prior to sending this to me. And there's also some beautiful things here, just nice little tickets and things from the past. So that's great, and very nice pieces of paper here. Vintage stamps and little things. It's from Edith Holden book, a little quote from Shakespeare. It's got some splatters of paint on there, really lovely little labels, lovely scraps. Oh, brilliant. And a squirrel. Can't go wrong with a squirrel in a autumn and fall journal, can you? And lots of little animals. That's fun. We can make a nice tag out of that. And a bit of wallpaper. Some amazing things here. Thank you, Liz, so much. Really, really nice finds. And, yep, beautiful map from a book. Lovely paper here. Really nice feel to it. Just delicate and pretty. Beautiful birds from a very vintage book. Gorgeous illustrations there. I wouldn't know what to use first in that one. That's very pretty. And then Pitman's French Weekly. So thank you very much to Liz and Claire for sending all these wonderful scraps and bits and pieces. I'm so blown away. So far what I've been sent has been the perfect amount, but you can see it's already a mountain of stuff appearing here, so I do want to get on with the journal, otherwise I find that I get overwhelmed. Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to pull together this month's project. I've got a stack of little envelopes that I've been making, some of which you haven't seen. So this one is another one made out of road map, and here this is going to go to my swap partner, and it does depict a little bit of map from where she actually lives. So this is really sweet, and it's got a little movable closure there so that we can get into it. So that's going to be one of the envelopes. Now, what I've also got is some little labels. These are labels that I want to put numbers on. So here's the numbers here of all the Sundays in December. These are the dates, the 1st, the 8th, the 15th and the 22nd. And I have just put them onto these little circle punch outs that I've got here. These were just from scrap pieces. They're just fun embellishments to have a few circles like that, and you can turn these into policy closures, anything. So that's the idea for the circles. So if you've got a little number stamps, you will be able to create that sort of thing, or you can stamp the number directly onto the tag, or you can handwrite it. All right, first things first, I'm bringing in some paper here just so that I can alter the tags from white to a grungy something interesting. I need some ink. There we go. I'm just inking up my tags in a more festive colour. This one is aged mahogany. Just going all the way around there so they have got a little bit of ink front and back. And that is, if they swing out, then you'll see something on the back as well. I think what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of the brown, the vintage photo, over the top as well. Right, for this bit, I'm just going to get a piece of plastic and put my ink on there. And then we'll just have a squirt of water. Like that. I'm just getting my fingers in it and just going to throw them in like that, and let the colours do their thing. So we're going to leave those to dry, and I'm just putting a little bit of the same ink around my circular numbers as well, then that will tie in with the colour. Getting red everywhere all over my fingers, so that's fine because this is a water soluble ink and it washes off no problem at all. So this is just a scrap piece of paper. It's got some tea staining on it, but it's now going to be backing paper for my belly band just to neaten things up around the back. So I'm going to assemble it this way. I'm going to have this pocket lining up with the bottom of this piece of paper, so there won't be any gap at the bottom. That's going to use up the entire strip. Then I'm going to have this one with the map coming in here, just tucking in and living there. And then this one's going to live at the top here. Now I think I can bring this down a bit so I don't see so much. That will give me this strip at the top, and I'm thinking that's quite nice because I can embellish that with a piece of lace or something. Let's have a look. Yes, that would look very nice, but I might want to put a little bit of ink behind there, so let's just do that. Okay, and I'm using my vintage photo on here as well just to get a contrast of the colour. Over. I don't think it's necessary to do any stamping. I just want to see that it's not plain white shining through, that there's a bit of aging, so we'll leave that. That's quite good. There we go. I'm just adding a little bit of the vintage photo to the labels here as well, and then that definitely ages the edges. So I'm just adding depth, texture and a vintage feel, a little bit of a grunge look to these. Not sure if they're going to be freely swinging about so they can flip round, but it's nice little technique to practice anyway. So I'm having a go at that. We might not like the idea at all, but in any case we'll end up with tags that we can use anywhere. And then I'll add a bit here just to weather this piece up as well. Okay, I'm just putting a bit of glue down here. Any glue will do, anything that's working. This is about the only one that I've got working at the moment. Just going to smear that over so that it will dry quicker, I'm hoping. And I'm going to put down this piece of lace. It just so happened to be the perfect length. So that's going down there, and all of that will dry clear. Okay, let's do something clever. I'm going to take the craft knife and I'm going to cut open this envelope at the bottom. So that's the envelope and it's sealed at the bottom in the usual way. And I'm just going to take my craft knife, I'm going to put it in the bottom like that, and just like a letter opener, I'm going to cut it open. Cutting through the book page here. I've also got a bit of fabric on there, keep things strengthened up. So now I can come in from this side and just gently cut that open like that. All right, so I've got my first envelope going down and it's got the bottom cut off so that when we put things in, we'll be able to put them all the way down. All right, I'm just using the glue and I'm going around 3 sides. I'm creating a pocket at the top. This will hopefully make sense in a minute. So we'll just glue that down here at the top. Okay, now I've just had a further idea and I'm thinking that this will be my 4th envelope and it needs to come in here, which means it needs to be able to come down there. So I'm just pulling that up now so it doesn't actually stick all the way, and that will just be a belly band for this 4th pocket that's going to come and live there. So that's going to work like that. That's fine. And then when we start building this up, it shouldn't slip down too far because we won't allow it to do that. So this one is going to have glue down 2 sides and then halfway down, and then that won't get too lost then. That should be perfect. All right, I've got a bead of glue either side and I'm coming down about here. That will be fine for the pocket. So we'll just do like a nice stream of glue there, and we'll put this pocket where we want it. And I'm just adding some clips on the side here so that it doesn't pop up and it can just set while we add in the final pocket. Now this one has been opened up as well, so you can put things into the envelope that will come down deeper into the pocket, and it will be here. So this one just goes all the way around, all the way on the bottom, up the other side, and then that is coming to live at the bottom here. This one's living down here, and I'm putting that there. Now I've lined them up. I haven't got room to do them at an angle because they will stick out of the journal too far, because they're coming into the mini journals. So we're just going to put some clips on here. Okay, now I'm going to make my tags up. I've just been having a play around with them, and I think that this is the way I want to have them all orientated. So I'm just going to glue them down before I forget where they needed to go. I'm just going to have that one on there. That looks like a lucky 8 ball on that one. We'll have that there. And I think I'm going to have one spare, and that one's got a bit of a rip in it, so we'll use that for something else on a different journal. This one is going to face in this direction. That's number 15. And then number 22. All right, now I'm going to assemble this. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this number on the top here. So I'm just adding this little tab on here with the number 1. That's going to be there and will be the envelope that you pull out for number 1. So that's going in there. And this one's going to be glued down here, so we'll just see it peeping out there. We'll be able to find that one. Right, just having a look where I want my little ticket to live, and I'm putting a mark in the hole, so now I can open that up, use my So using my awl, I'm just going to pierce a little hole. Just a little hole there where I want the paper fastener to go. Okay, so I've got the paper fasteners going through my little ticket here, and then it's going to come through that hole that I've just made. Great, and that is looking like that. I think that's great. We've got 6 pockets. So let's just recap. We've got a tuck in here, 1. We've got a tuck inside this envelope, 2. We've got a tuck inside there, that's 3. Tuck inside this envelope, that's 4. Tuck behind here, that's 5. And 6 is here, and then 7 would be behind here. And then if you were to stick it down, you could have your top loading as well. So you've got about 7 tuck points with this one piece. Very cool. So that's a really fun idea to give you lots of places to put things if that is the sort of thing that you like to have in your journal. It would look great in the front cover or at the back, and you can store little things that you want to keep, and certain notes, private journaling, and photographs, anything that you want to keep of that time. You could do themed envelopes for certain occasions as well, and you can build up and add them on over the year or the month, and you can embellish them accordingly. But we had nature inspired here, so we've got flowers, we've got the birds, little nod to the postal service there with our envelopes. So I think that that's great. And then on the back, you know, it's plain. That could be embellished or decorated. I will leave that to my swap partner, and she can either stick that down on the journal page, or she can have it as a flip. If she puts a hinge there, that could be another writing space. Now I've got this which can come and be stuck down on the journal and be a nice little pocket with this flap closure that was made out of napkin and book page. And I have sewn on a cigarette card and a little Tim Holtz embellishment with the toadstool there. Just nice woodland little pocket. So I thought that that was really sweet. I was pleased with that, and I thought that that all worked well with the birds. So it's been all about the birds this week, so I hope that that's been fun for you to watch and see, and that's pulled all that project together and given you some inspiration of how you might want to put some ephemera into your journal for December, so that you can open these things, especially if it's just for you. I think it would be really nice to have some goals or plans, and you know, you've got a few weeks ahead now. You could open that up on the 15th of next month, and you would be able to see whether you've achieved it and keep yourself on track, or have a lovely sentiment in there. You know, just be really kind to you. And that's what it's all about. It's kindness to everybody. So that's what we'll aim to do, and hopefully you'll have lovely time with that. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you very shortly in my next video. Do please hit the bell icon, and then you'll be alerted for the video coming up. I'm going to be taking part in the Christmas collaboration as hosted by Rach and Bella Crafts this year, so that will be coming up in the last week of November. I think I'm on the 23rd or the 24th. I'll tell you in my next video anyway. You can tune in and have a look at some little Christmas crafts there. And if you like the idea of joining the swap for the Treasured Page, you can sign up over on the Facebook group. That is the Treasured Page FB group, and that's over on Facebook. So you can sign up, have a look for the post, and you can put your name and the country in which you're crafting from to let me know that you're interested. If you could do that before the end of the month, that would be great, because it starts on the 1st of December, and I do need some time to get everybody's names together. And you would need to commit to making 3 of the next projects for December, January and February, and the projects go up on the 1st of every month. But if you don't fancy that, you can of course play along from the comfort of your own home, and we love to see any photos being posted up onto the Treasured Page Facebook group. So thank you everybody for watching, and above everything else, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.